Get out. This place isn't for you. The words cracked across the marble hall, sharp as a whip. They weren't whispered. They weren't private. They were flung into the air for everyone to hear. The clerks froze mid-typing. A businessman lifted his head, startled. Even the hum of the lobby seemed to pause. At the center, Jackson sat still, his shirt plain, his posture calm. He didn't argue, didn't defend. His silence cut deeper than any reply. Eyes shifted toward him, curious, disdainful, amused. A woman murmured to her friend, "Who is he? Doesn't look like someone who belongs here." The words spread like sparks. Each glance, each whisper pressed against him, branding him an intruder. And yet, he remained unmoved. As if the insult were only air passing by. But the room thickened, heavy as a courtroom, awaiting its verdict. The revolving glass door turned once, and Jackson stepped inside. Noonlight spilled across his shoulders, catching the folds of a plain white shirt. No tie, no watch gleaming at the wrist. No assistant trailing in his shadow, only a man, ordinary in every detail. In this building of polished suits and hushed tones, he drew no second glances. He carried no symbols of power, no hint of wealth, no signal that anyone should take note. He wanted it that way. To the crowd, he looked like another client. Maybe someone lost, maybe someone about to be turned away. To him, every step across the marble was deliberate, because Jackson wasn't here to flaunt who he was. He was here to erase it. The paradox lingered, unseen. The most powerful man in the room, wrapped in complete invisibility. His shoes struck the marble in slow rhythm. Each step echoed against a stone, sharp, precise. Like a clock refusing to hurry. He walked straight, yet invisible. Not a head turned, not a glance lingered. The suits hurried past with clipped strides. The clerks lowered their eyes to screens. He slipped between them like air, unnoticed, unmeasured. That was exactly the point. Jackson carried no aura, no command. He let the anonymity wrap around him like a cloak. Every move quiet, every breath calculated, because this was the test he had chosen. He wanted to see the truth beneath the polish, the way people behave when they believe they hold the power. When they think the man before them is no one at all. The soft rhythm of his steps was the only announcement he made, and no one cared to hear it. The leather seat sighed as he settled in, hands folded, posture unhurried. He looked as though he had come for nothing more than rest. A clerk passed close, eyes fixed on a clipboard, never once meeting his gaze. Another brushed by, glancing briefly, dismissing him at once. No recognition. No respect, not even curiosity. Jackson remained still, his breath steady, his presence quiet. He wasn't here to demand attention. He was here to wait, to measure, to see how far indifference could stretch before it turned into something sharper. Every second of silence was part of the experiment. He wanted the natural reaction, the unfiltered instinct of those around him, the calm before the storm of judgment. And so he sat, a plain man in a plain shirt, preparing to expose what happens when power hides in plain sight. A man in a tailored suit paused nearby, his cufflinks catching the light. His eye swept Jackson from head to toe, slow, deliberate, dismissive. The corner of his mouth tilted in a crooked smile. Lost, aren't you? The words were quiet. But they carried like a blade. They didn't need to be loud. They were sharpened by the arrogance of someone who believed his place here was unquestionable, and Jackson's presence absurd. A ripple of amusement flickered across a few faces. A glance shared, a smirk half hidden. Each reaction was a silent agreement, a verdict passed without trial. Jackson did not move. He did not answer. The silence thickened, pressing back against the sting of the insult. He sat as though the remark had been spoken into the air, weightless, meaningless. Yet his refusal to react was its own statement, a cliff suspended in stillness. A younger employee approached, his gray suit too sharp for his age. Eagerness folded into